Welcome to Sharepoint Mastery Showcase, episode number 3, Creating a Culture that Rewards Productivity Increases, with your host, Keith Hudson. At Sharepoint Mastery, we help you master SharePoint one step at a time so you can control your own destiny.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.
In the last episode of Sharepoint Mastery Showcase, we talked about the coming knowledge worker revolution and some of the benefits that an employer can achieve by turning every frontline knowledge worker into a consultant actively seeking to find efficiencies in the business. Today we're going to talk about what it takes to create a culture that rewards productivity increases. If an employee figures out how to get their job done to an acceptable standard in half the time it took before, and they are immediately given more work to take up all the time they saved through their ingenuity, with no increased remuneration, is that employee going to be motivated to look for more ways to save time on the job? We believe the answer is no. Yet, the behavior of many employers would indicate that they think the answer is yes. In actual fact, increasing the workload of someone who figures out how to do their job faster and better is punishing productivity rather than rewarding it. The book, Why Work Sucks and How to Fix It, by Callie Ressler and Jody Thompson, chronicles Best Buy's efforts to improve morale among their back-office employees and reduce employee turnover. The end result of their efforts was a transition of the entire back office to a results-only work environment, where employees are given clear expectations of the work product they are to produce and on what time frame, and then the employees decide when and how to produce the desired results. If they reduced the time it took to do their jobs, the employees benefited directly. That is, they now had more time to pursue their personal interests rather than working. Their employer did not pile on more work. Best Buy was able to create a culture that rewarded productivity and reaped tremendous results by doing so. The results reported in the book were a 37% increase in overall productivity. In one department, the employees put their heads together and re-engineered their work and began producing more than 3.5 times as much work as previously in less time. Voluntary turnover, that is, people quitting, dropped by as much as 90% in some groups. These are pretty impressive results. However, Callie and Jody gave a warning. They reported that the culture change required to accomplish the transition was not just changing the way managers thought about their employees, but also required employees to behave differently towards other employees. No more criticizing someone who comes in late. The time someone shows up in the office is only important if it affects their getting their work done. And the employee is the best judge of what it takes to get the work done. Of course, employees who have succeeded in the past by looking busy, while not really accomplishing anything of value, can't continue to do so. They now stick out like the deadwood they are, and they can be cut off, saving the company money. Why Work Sucks reports that involuntary turnover, people being fired, increased. The rule implemented by Best Buy in going to a results-only work environment was each person is free to do whatever they want, whenever they want, as long as the work gets done. By transitioning to a results-only work environment, Best Buy unleashed a flood of ingenuity by their frontline workers. In contrast, we have observed companies who have written policies dictating that no employee can be involved in any money-making activities outside of their job without their employer's written permission, seldom granted to anyone except those in the C-suite. This in a company that publicly boasts of paying their workers in the bottom 25 percentile of the marketplace. In our opinion, this is a form of modern slavery. It is evidence of a culture in which management thinks they own their employees. This culture goes hand in hand with the attitude that if an employee learns how to do their work in less time, they should be given more work. I'm paying them for working 40 hours every week, aren't I? Some companies even think that their employees should work 60 or 70 or even 80 hours a week, if that is what it takes to get the job done, and they should be happy they have a job at all. Needless to say, such a culture does not reward or encourage productivity. If you are an employer or work for an employer who is hoping to make significant increases in the efficiency of your workers, we encourage you to think long and hard about whether you reward productivity or punish productivity in your workplace. Thank you for joining us for this episode of SharePoint Mastery Showcase, presented by SharePoint Mastery, where we help you master SharePoint one step at a time so you can control your own destiny. Come visit us at www.spmastery.com.